So this is the latest in our London Business Footprint series, this time looking at the serviced office sector. In particular, this time we've highlighted a growth of nearly 70% in terms of the percentage of floor space occupied by the sector. The great bias for that being the city, which has outdone the West End, principally driven by larger floor plates, cost, so economics, and also proximity to those types of businesses, both new, start-up and established, who are looking for serviced office / co-working spaces to plug their occupancy gaps.
We very much look at how people commit to space, and when you're writing a business plan, whatever size company you are, whatever type of business you are, it's very difficult in today's world to predict your business plan beyond 12 months. So it seems incongruous to us that a company can therefore commit to space beyond 12 months if they don't know what their space needs are going to be, because they don't know what their business is going to be. For us as a business, our core market is the smaller end of the market. Our average office size is probably 12 to 14 people for a typical company. And we're looking at really areas where people live, because the shift that we're seeing is that people want to work closer to home. They don't want a long commute time. Therefore, you're seeing clearly there's a lot of affordable living space in East London, and that has drawn operators like us to East London to meet that demand that wants to be close to home. People are working longer and they're working harder, and actually they want a better quality of life. So if you can eliminate your commute or reduce it significantly, that makes a significant difference to your world. And if you're working till 9, 10, midnight of an evening, you want to actually just be able to spill out of the office. You want to go to a good restaurant, you want to meet people, you want to have a social life. Working hard is not about eliminating your social life. In a way, it's kind of blurring it, but you also want to be close to home.
Increasingly, we're speaking to clients about how they use serviced office space and co-working spaces to supplement both existing footprint, so for our corporate clients, looking at how they might do that, but increasingly for smaller businesses, those who don't want to be tied into longer term commitments. They're really seeing the value that you can get from flexible workspace, and particularly co-working spaces that allow that collaboration of individuals but also teams.
So if we take the co-working market as a subsector of the serviced office market, and by that I mean the open plan environment where anybody can work and they can collaborate with colleagues or people that they've met and worked with. I'm uncertain, because it's still very much in its infancy, as to how large that market will grow. I think that London is significantly behind the US. That is, because of a couple of major players. But interestingly, you're seeing a number of service offices open up floors within multi-floor buildings as co-working space. As we start to look east, you're starting to see co-working pop up in the sort of tech-led cities such as Singapore and also in Hong Kong. Recently, Swires have opened up 10,000 square foot of one of their buildings as a co-working site. And you imagine that as a forward-thinking landlord who actually wants to attract tech businesses who will then be their future client base or tenant further down the line.
Serviced offices, flexible offices used to be about short-term options. Used to be about somebody who'd take it and say, I'm going to take this space whilst I look for my own office. And then I might be in a serviced office for 6 months, and then I'm going to find my own conventional leased space. That's changed. That is all different now, and flexible offices are an acceptable form of tenure for small businesses. So that's our market, the 1 to 50 people business. This isn't a fad or a fashion. This is a wholesale shift in the way in which people want to take office space. Technology is driving it, people's education of how they take space is driving it. I think you're going to see this market grow significantly.
I think what the report shows, and what we've heard on this film, the co-working revolution is here to stay. It's become a critical part of the way businesses use their real estate. We're expecting to see our clients increasingly use and look to both serviced office and co-working space as their route to find occupation.